Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Matt from Brocode.
What's up, everybody? It's Ivory from Code.
So man, man, how you been doing, bro?
Man, I'm good, bro. Happy Friday to you, man. I feel like $1,000,000. It's been a busy week, but man, I feel good. But how about you, bro?
I've been good, man. It's still kind of cold up here, but I've been pretty good.
Awesome, bro. Yeah, I know, man. I know you can't wait to get the car. The motorcycles. I know you can't wait for that. Just to kind of get out here and ride on your motorcycle, bro.
Yeah, a little bit, bro, but it's getting kind of old because it's like you drive and see the same people. You know what I'm saying? And if anybody know anything about motorcycle culture, man, there's some interesting characters, man. You know what I'm saying? Some people who you can ride with and some people who gonna try to steal your bike. So nah, bro, they really be out here, bro. So
Yeah.
yeah, but anyway, today, man, we're going to talk about, how to get your skills and abilities up in less than 6 months. So how to get your skills and abilities up. Better yet, let's frame it a little bit better, man. How to increase your career opportunities in less than 6 months.
Yeah, I like that.
Yep. So how to increase your career opportunities in less than 6 months. Really one of the things that how this came about, me and Ivy always have conversations about different things. And one of the things that we always talk about and always tends to show up is just like, really just like, as we got older, how quickly, you can get your abilities up if you actually are focused and plugged in with the right places.
Yeah, yeah. No, you're right about that. And I always use that. I always like to say you can go further faster. Doesn't mean that you have to spend hours and hours and years and years and years to get somewhere. But if you have, think about it from this way. You can either walk to a destination, you still get there, but you
Mhm.
can drive to a destination and drive a Ferrari that help you get to that destination faster, which route that most people are going to take. I take the Ferrari route, versus the walking route, right?
Oh, definitely, definitely, definitely. And today, we're going to talk about three things. We're going to talk about like certifications, updating your public profile, and then obviously reaching out to your social network. So
Yes.
we kind of start with certifications. If you want to kind of talk a little bit about that first, Ivory, kind of give your 2 cents, and I kind of tell you how to.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, certifications. I am a big proponent of certifications. And the reason why, first of all, I'm certified. I'm a certified financial coach, counselor, whatever you want to call it. But I have an actual certification through the AFC. So, you can check it out. It's on my LinkedIn page, and we'll talk about LinkedIn as well. But and that leads us into our next point, being public. But I love certifications, and the reason why I love certification so much is that it's something that it lets people know that you have like expertise, that you're certified in this whatever it is that you're doing, your craft. Like you spent amount of hours, you spent amount of time training and getting prepared to execute in a certain field. So when I see somebody that's certified, that gives me a little bit more confidence than somebody that's not certified in doing things. You can look at it from this perspective. Would you want, let's say you're at a hospital, would you want like a generalist doctor, or would you like a doctor that's certified and specialized in something? I know I would want somebody who's specialized and certified to do open heart surgery. I'm sure you'll feel that way too, Matt,
Yeah,
right? And so I just love certifications because not only that, you generally people who have certifications in certain areas, obviously, you get paid more, but it's a certain kind of cachet, certain kind of respect that comes along with that because you put in the time, you put in the dedication, the hours to really train, and more likely took a standardized test. And so you are quote unquote approved, stamped approved to do the job. So I just love certifications. I always had a certification in whatever it is that I was doing because I knew the importance of having a certification. And on my resume, when I had certifications, I got calls from employers or whatever it is. I always got that call because they always say, "So you're certified in this. We saw that on your resume." That was the first thing that employers always spotted out, that I had a certification. And that may have given me that competitive advantage versus somebody who wasn't certified.
Definitely. And one thing, certifications come in all like, shapes and sizes and stuff like that. One of the things that I learned about certifications, and like I said, even with the title of this video, is 6 months or less. Some of the stuff you can get real quick. Like for instance, say if you work in the construction industry, you work in safety, you're a social worker, and you can go in there and take some of the FEMA classes. So they got FEMA modules you can take. They're free. they got incident and command 100, 101, different classes like that. And you can take those modules. It might take you an hour, 2 hours. You kind of understand the FEMA model, but then you put that stuff in your public profiles. If they're looking for a social worker, but then they got a social worker who's, FEMA, got some of those FEMA certifications. Now you working a job making 60, $75 an hour for the next 2 months. Simple things like that. Obviously, for a lot of people who do like any kind of home repair, go ahead and get your general contractor's license, man. I don't know how it is in other states, but in Michigan, it's pretty simple. Like if you already know how to do the work, it should be pretty easy to pass that exam. Essentially, you just take that class for 2 months. You know what I'm saying? You can take it in a week, depending on where you take it at. You sit for the exam. So altogether, you might be out of maybe $800, $900. But then now you can charge a little bit more. Really simple things like that. OSHA 510, OSHA 500. I know I'm talking about a lot of construction, Salesforce, get some of your Salesforce admin, certifications. There's even certain things like, so in construction, they use software called Procore, which is, sometimes they got something called Procore Learning. And these certifications aren't necessarily like certifications the same way like, Irie was talking about, or OSHA 500, where it's backed by like federal places, but you might take a Procore financial, quality and safety course, and it shows up as a certification from Procore. You can put that stuff right in your LinkedIn. I know Google's been doing quite a bit of, they got the project management. Now, obviously, it's not the same as having a PMP, but you take some of those classes, relatively low cost. It could really, really help your career.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. And basically, all we're trying to say is that find out whatever certification in your specific industry. Like man said, if you're in construction, if you're in the finance industry, maybe you're an engineer or a welder, whatever your career is, what's the top certifications that you can get that will catapult you over maybe somebody who does not have that certification? I mean, that's pretty much what we're trying to say. So certifications, something that's quick, easy. And I know some of you probably, we got families, we got, wives and kids, and the weekends may not be in for you, but I mean, like Matt said, maybe 30 minutes a day, 20 minutes a day, little bit of changes here and there can go a long way in increasing your salary.
Exactly, and it kind of leads to a second point, is that once you get your certifications up, the next thing to do is update your public profiles and then put all your certifications on your profile. So I'm still trying to get better at that, but I mean, you kind of like the LeBron James of, professional public profiles, man. So what would you kind of say?
Well, that's a high bar to be in, but I would definitely say this. That's Matt's at 100%. You're 100% right, bro, about the social portfolio. I mean, I'm sorry, not social portfolio, the social profile. I love LinkedIn. I mean, I think you should also, well, before I get to that, LinkedIn, I love it so much is because that's what LinkedIn is for. It's there to connect with other professionals and employers, believe it or not. I mean, I saw one study, I was reading a study that 60% of employers, no, 70% of employers actually go to LinkedIn to find their employees, their hires. So it used to be back in the old days, you'd just like pull in a job, back in the day, you just put a job filler out there and you just in a newspaper or something. But now companies are going on LinkedIn. So they're checking for people on LinkedIn. It's kind of like if you're dating somebody, people do background checks, right? They may try to Google your name and stuff like that. Employers are going to LinkedIn. That's kind of like their way to see, okay, what has this person been doing? What is this person's resume or body of work? So I love LinkedIn, and we may talk about that one day. We may talk about we might put a screen share and show you how to build a professional LinkedIn page so you can get employers to notice you and get potential clients or potential contracts as well. That helps too by having a professional LinkedIn site.
No, definitely. Like if you're not on LinkedIn, I would highly recommend it. But one of the things that I think you do that I think a lot of people don't do, you actually turned your other social media things into professional opportunities. So I know your Facebook is more professional. I don't know if you have Instagram, but I know a lot of your.
I don't use it.
So I just realized that so a lot of people use they might use LinkedIn professionally, but Facebook and some of these other things more like loosely. But you kind of use those things as professional opportunities too, don't you?
Yeah, actually, you're absolutely right. I do. And it's not that I'm a robot. Everything's professional. because everything is not professional. I just think that your social portfolio or social, I keep saying social portfolio, your social profile, I think it should reflect who you are. And part of who we are is our public persona, how we, I mean, I always say like this, Les Brown says this, he says you have three lives. You have a public life, you have a private life, and you got a secret life. So I always think about it from this perspective. What do I want people to see in my public life? Obviously, you want people to see your secret life stuff, that's in your private life, but your public life, making sure that you're representable, because again, if you're looking for that contract, if you're looking for to get hired for a job or even to network, people are increasingly looking at your social profiles. So I always try to keep a clean profile, but I do post some funny stuff on there. I do post some of my personal stuff, but it's not over the top where I'm smoking hookah and smoking weed and lighting a joint up and saying, hey, here you go, Matt, you want this joint? You know what I'm saying? So it has a professional, but it has my own personality to my site. And also, I would say one last thing, if you can, I would definitely, I do believe in buying your own domain name. Like my name is Ivory Hodges, so I bought ivoryhodges.com, right? That's your digital real estate. And I really believe in that. And what you do on there, you just highlight and hype yourself up, right? Hey, man, I'm Ivory. I've been a coach for this amount of time. I've been helping people pay off debt. It's kind of like a brag account where you can just brag on yourself. And again, that's another thing that will show up in Google search sites that in a potential employer, potential client, or potential contractor can see that and say, you know what, I like this guy. So I just really believe in that.
Yeah, man. I think also, man, people got to kind of get like, stop being lazy when it comes to some of the stuff, man. Because I think like, even for me, man, if you look at my LinkedIn, I actually kind of switched it up. I think I got like a picture of me with the Detroit River in the background. But obviously it's not people would say it's not the most professional, but it gives you a good feel of who I am. And I try to be like authentic with that. Reason I say that, man, you'll see somebody's LinkedIn profile, you'll be like Jesse Smith, no photo, no photo, right? You know what I'm saying? Like no photo, man. Like you'll know when he went to school. Yeah. You'll know when he went to school. You know what I'm saying? It's just like it's like account, and that's it. They don't say nothing. So and then too, a lot of people would like put their schools and stuff. Man, I started putting every association in there, man. I started doing it. I started doing every association. Everything I did, I started putting on there. Volunteer opportunities. If I took a 30-minute class and got a certification in whistling, I put that stuff in there, man. And it made my profile look super long. And then over time, man, just connect with people. You meet somebody, because I looked on there, man. I had like 500 connections. I'm like, how I got so many connections? Because I had it for so long. I started making that when I came out of college. So, when you first got out of college, man, it was like, about 300 of them were college people. So I just, so now it's like, once you reach that threshold of 500, it stops showing the number. It just shows 500 plus. So it makes it like you got a lot more connections. And you always say this too, man, leave getting people and you leaving people recommendations and they leaving you recommendations is extremely powerful. And I think that goes a long way. If you get nominated for award, highlighted, it's changing, you know what I'm saying? So you have to really highlight it. And then I think, especially in certifications, you highlight it, and it goes back to the next part, right? Which is reaching out to your social network. So after you got the certifications, you added the certifications or just posted the ones you already have, and you updated your LinkedIn. Now you reach out to your social network, because once you reach out to your social network, people got to loop back in to your public profiles, and they're gonna see everything verified that you were talking about. It's gonna be verified.
Yeah, and then people gonna slide in your DMs.
She's sliding in your DMs.
That's how it happens. That's the digital way. That's the new way of doing things. It's not the old way. And like Matt was saying, that's what happens. Like I can't tell you how many times I've been to coffee or I've been to a networking event or just been out and about, and you meet somebody that's your ideal client. For example, me, I'm a financial coach. I work with doctors and I work with a lot of different professionals. And one of the things that I've noticed is that if I run across somebody that looks like what I work and I do, my specialty, then I would say something like, hey, I specialize in this, or I do this and that. And you don't think that they're always listening, paying attention to you, but you look and you go back to LinkedIn. The cool thing about LinkedIn is you can actually see who's been looking at your profile. And you can see that some people, they go back and look at your profile and add you as a friend, as a LinkedIn person. So now you linked in with that person, and that gives you an opportunity to network with that person. So, I mean, I've gotten clients off LinkedIn that, I didn't know. It was just through somebody else that knew me and said, hey, this dude, you should connect with this guy. And they pushed them my way, and they looked at my LinkedIn profile, and that built me some type of social proof, which is very, very, that's like the new currency now, like social proof, like being able to be like verifiable. Like Matt said, I mean, think about it. Like if you go to a restaurant and you like, man, I don't really know about the rest, but if you look at the reviews and you see like, okay, man, this restaurant is slamming. Or you walk outside and you see the line is wrapped around the building two, 3 times. That's social proof that this restaurant is actually pretty good. So what social proof is that it builds you credibility when people don't even know you. And you want that credibility when people don't know you, because it makes it easier to close the deal, get the interview, right? Get the contract. It makes it easier for people to like you. So your likability is tied to your digital footprint. That's why the ABCs of that is appearance, behavior, communication, and your digital footprint. ABCD, right? Your appearance, your behavior, how you behave online, right? And offline. Communication, how you communicate with people. That's the social networking part, and your digital footprint. Those are the 4 things, the ABCD, that you want to tighten up on. That's something that I'm tightening up on myself. I'm not perfect at it, but that's something that I focus on.
Yeah, no, and I think one of the things that I would add too is don't be surprised with who you get hit up by. So you might be a firefighter, you might say, man, why is the safety company hitting me up? You a police officer, why is this, what I'm saying, security company hitting me up? You're gonna be surprised by how many people, hit you up once your stuff is out there. I still every now and then, man, some of the stuff I started doing, especially started doing a little bit more around construction safety here and there. I started getting people hitting me up saying, hey, we got a job offer here. It's kind of surprising, and how many other random opportunities that are going to come your way. And you never know, people are going to look you up. So I think that's extremely important. And I think sometimes you just got too many guys, man, who do the work, who just not showcasing it. You got to showcase it. And even if you say, man, I'm a laid back dude, you might be leaving some money and opportunity on the table just by not doing these things. So and I think in conclusion, the one thing that I would say, man, the most important thing is the one thing I would say, the most important thing is make sure you get your certifications up. Once you do that, the other stuff should be pretty easy. With the LinkedIn stuff, I mean, you could hire somebody to come in and do it for you. You could spend 2 hours watching YouTube videos on how to make a good LinkedIn profile. Because you're always kind of building upon your LinkedIn. You're never gonna really kind of get it to perfect. You're just always kind of adding and updating stuff as it happens. And it's so cold now with some of these certifications. I was doing something on Procore. You get the certification, and once you pass a little class, they link right straight to your LinkedIn. So they add everything in there. You just log into your LinkedIn, it ties right in there, it tells you the issue date, what you got. All you gotta do is just link it. So what would you like to say in closing?
Oh, that's awesome, bro. I just want to say, like Matt said, I feel like now is an opportunity for us, especially as brothers. And I mean brothers, I'm talking about, it doesn't matter your race. I'm talking about brothers, men in general. If now is more important for us to showcase and highlight the work that we do, because in this day and age, like nobody wants to give you credit a lot of times for the stuff you do. And it's very important to make sure that you're giving yourself credit first, right? Like make sure that you give yourself that brag bank, that you build that brag bank, that you are the stuff, and build your own confidence, because the world is constantly telling us who we are, who we're not, do we measure up and all that stuff. You want to don't be in that group, right? Be in a group where you are building yourself up, and part of building yourself up is building your digital footprint up as well. Again, it's the ABCD: your appearance, your behaviors, how you communicate, and your digital footprint. If you focus on those 4 things, and me and Matt, we're not perfect. We're always trying to focus on our ABCDs as well. But that's a good starting point, especially within the next 6 months. If you can do that in the 6-month time frame, watch, your income will go up higher, your network will grow up higher, and you actually be much more of a friendlier person, because you're connecting with like-minded people.
Definitely. You know, so I hope everybody kind of enjoyed the conversation. Make sure you like the video, subscribe, leave some comments. If you disagree with anything we said, make sure you put it in the comments. Just one thing, man. Don't be dissing us on the comments, man. You ain't got your skills and abilities up, bro. Hey, bro. You know what I'm saying? Don't be in there talking junk, bro. Hey, you just
With
like,
no
man,
face.
with no face,
Just
with no
eye
face.
con.
Man, shut up, man. You look whack, bro. I'm like, bro, I don't even know who you are, man. You private in the mud, bro. I don't even know who you are. Who are you, bro?
Yeah, you don't no real name. You like, man, this dude is a troll. You think it's a Russian bot or something, bro?
I'm like, bro, you got a lot of time on your hands if you trolling somebody talking about getting your skills and abilities. So anyway, man, have a good day, everybody, and take care.
See y'all later.